Hi. So today I was talking with some folks and they're feeling kind of down about their ability to make a difference in the world. And I was trying to point out to them that they have a lot more power than they realize, and you do too. So the motto of the day, and this is something a friend of mine came up with, I'm changing the world by changing me. I'm changing the world by changing me. And to me, that's a very powerful motto. We have very little control over what other people do, but we have total control over what we do. So if we're taking our own lives into our own hands and taking the helm and being the best possible person we can be, that's going to make a huge difference over a lifetime. Another thing that I like to point out is that in a capitalist society, like it or not, we do actually have the power of the dollar. Every dollar you spend is a vote. And people don't always see it that way, but it's very true. If you spend a dollar buying a genetically modified food or a chicken that's been in a factory farm and suffering its whole life, that's a vote to that producer in that store saying, keep doing what you're doing. I'm supporting this. I want you to make this type of food this way. But if you buy a chicken from a farmer that you know or from a local food co-op, or from a tailgate market where you can talk to the farmer and ask, are your chickens running around happy? What do you feed them? How are they raised? And connecting more to your food, that's a dollar to that farmer in that industry saying, I support that and I want that to keep happening. And that occurs with every dollar you spend. Are you spending money on food or clothing that you know where it comes from, that it's supporting ethical standards, and maybe there is a price difference, but is it worth it to you? Or maybe you can find it at the same or comparable price. You never really know till you look. So just keep in mind that each time you spend your dollar, you're casting a vote toward however it took to get that product to where it is. And there's a lot of power in that. There's a lot of ways you can influence the market on a grand scale throughout your entire life just by what you're buying. Another way that you can make a difference is where you put your money. Do you put your money in a bank, or do you put it in a credit union? You know, banks are out there to make money for shareholders. Credit unions are there to reinvest into the members. And they often have lower interest rates and lower fees to boot. So if you're not a big fan of big businesses controlling and overcharging for things like that, if that's how you see it, then you have an option. You can join a credit union, and that's greatly reduced, and it's supporting the members of that union and not some shareholders off in who knows where. Food-wise, you can find tailgate markets and local food cooperatives. You could join a community-supported agriculture, which is a program that you pay the farmer up front, start of the growing season, and then each week they bring you a box of fresh local produce that's been grown in your area. And so that's a way to connect back with your food. Of course, organic is good, or even growing in your own yard. That's a great way to get connected to your food, even if it's just a strawberry plant or a tomato plant or something simple. Even something. It's a little way to reconnect to your food and start being mindful about what you're eating. And you can grow some for friends and family too, and share the wealth. So those are some other thoughts on ways you can empower yourself to make a difference. And the third way I would propose is just by being you. I don't think we often realize how much of a difference we make just by being who we are in this world. Something you've said to someone, a kind word, a thought, a gesture, handing someone a flower, saying you look nice today. Something like that, something tiny really adds up. And you never know the ripple effect of these sorts of actions. You may have convinced someone not to harm themselves, or you may have just a kind word may have spurred someone to start some group that helps others. Um, just the tiniest things that we do, maybe even unintentionally or without thinking much of it, those can have a huge impact, and we may never know what the impact is. But just be yourself, be the best version of who you are in the moment, and that will have a strong effect on the world. We may not ever see it, but it does have an effect. Um, so keep those thoughts in mind. Remember, you are more powerful than you ever think you are. Hopefully you think you're pretty powerful, but I would suppose that you are more powerful than that even. You've got a lot to say, a lot of good to do on the earth, and everything you do has an impact. So why not set the intention that you're going to have the best impact possible, and you're going to make a strong change in the world. And I promise you that with that sort of attitude, things are going to be great.